Good morning, traders. Tiago here from the trading cage, and this is where we beat the gold. Well, today we are to the last high of today. It's gonna get there really soon, actually. But let's go back to our daily. It started fresh. I hope that you guys had a very good day yesterday. Um, It was really awesome. Yesterday I was in workshops with students pretty much the whole day long. It was a really long day. Went to sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning and just working. So today I had to stay in bed for a little bit longer than usual, but we are alive. Let's see what has been happening here with our XAUUSD. Let me just get these arrows out. And I'll get this one out as well. Let's go over to our daily here, see what it has done. So, candle 50 here came once again to the region of our support at 5084. We were expecting this price to be coming up, but it did the opposite. Now, since it broke through that support, candle 51 would have to come to these minimals once again to the region of 50%, right? But so far it hasn't. It's trying to go to the all-time high of today. So we've got this movement here in which we are below 50%. So this price could easily continue on its way down until the region of the 33 here, possibly grabbing this liquidity below. So if it doesn't do that, we'll come back here into this trigger candle 49. We'll put a line on it. Since candle 50 broke through it, now that's a relevant stopping point for us. Let me just adjust that. Should be there. Cool. So this is a relevant stopping point for the price. And nothing much to see here. Let me have a look at one thing that I've been willing to see for a while. Let me see this trend line there. So we still have got that trend line. Have a look. If I put it there, does it get out a lot? It does. It gets up by a lot from where I want it. So let me just leave it here for now, just as some sort of direction for me to see where it should actually touch it. Okay, so minimum of candle 258, then minimum of candle 26. Let's see if this comes back to touch it below. Okay, Yeah, so we have that regional support at the 50% of the all-time high at the moment. We are below the last big retraction. Let us see on the lower retraction, on the smaller one. So maximum of candle 48, minimal of candle 47. Maximum high of today is exactly that 50%. So this could be a test and price could just drop down to continue its movement down, okay? So today we are not buyers at the market, we are sellers. We're going to be looking at some good regions to sell, okay, to short this market. Let's see how this is going to play out. Let's go over to our 1 hour. On our 1 hour here, we can see here is at that 50% from the last retraction, the last movement. Candle 107 here was just going up. Now it's about to reject trigger candle 97. I've got this trend line here. I don't need it anymore. That one's gone. This one's also gone. That's from the day before. We just adjust a couple things here. All right. So that's just rejecting that 50% of the last movement. We should have that region of 50% as well as the maximum high of today. That should be the region as well. So that is right there. So this is the last movement we have, and we are just below that 50% right now. So if that's the region, we've got to keep our eye on that. Let's see if we have a trend line here of this movement. No, we don't. So there are no trend lines. We had a three candle pattern here just above support. So this support is still strong. Okay. So we got to be careful with that. This region of the 5084, it's still a strong support to the left. Was resistance before. Okay. Let's see if it'll give us good options of shorting this market today. If it gives us buys, we'll buy, but if it gives us good shorts, we'll short it as well. On the 15 minutes, get these Fibos out, too many Fibos. We just have a very big retraction. On the 1 minute, we can actually make this Fibonacci here, which is the movement, Fibonacci of the movement. We are just at the region of 50%. The stop's quite high. We got 1200 points of stop. But if the next candle tests up, we could have a good option of shorting this high here. Let us see. No, you can't short it just yet. When we look at it from this point of view, even though on the 15 minutes it is rejecting it, the only way we could reject it would be if the next candle comes up to the high once again and then comes down afterwards. At the moment, shorting it over here doesn't give us enough enough confluences for that short. So price came down here. This is the low of yesterday, lowest price. Price came up, couldn't beat these 50% of the movement, then came down as low as the lows from yesterday. We still have a whole bunch of liquidity here below, but it did not break through that. It did break through the trigger candles. The gold for these last days, it has changed the frequency a little bit. Before it would come and touch those trigger candles and it would not break through. At the moment, it is breaking through the trigger candles, but it's not continuing the movement, which tells me that there has been a change of frequency, which is not too bad, but then we've got to be careful with our trades because we can't just get into trades just because it broke through trigger candles at the moment, especially when it's going to grab liquidity below. At the moment, the market's just stopping buyers on the bigger time frames, so it's just stopping buyers all the time and creating liquidity on top from sellers. Everybody that's selling is generating buyers liquidity above. Okay, so it's a bit weird. It's not normally it would make some really good movements. Um, the macroeconomy tells us that the gold should be going up instead of down, but at the moment it's just doing what it wants to do. So it is one of those things. If the market is supposed to go up, and if there's a lot of people buying, most likely big players are bringing this price down to grab all that liquidity and stopping all those guys. So this could be what's happening, and it would make sense as well. Of course, that's not the way I would like the market to react. It's a lot easier when it does what it's supposed to do, but that's totally fine. We know how to trade, so we'll get it either way. So candle 58 here, it didn't test up as much as I would like it to. It's testing down. It is on this region of 50%. If it does break through that 50, then we can short it into about down here. We do have about 1,000 points down here plus we have just over 1,000 points of stop up there. Just didn't want to short it before it broke through that 50% of that high. Okay. At the moment, it did break the structure here, but it would have to make a higher high. So we have a market going down here on the 5 minutes. Let's put a trend line here. So we have a market that's going down, and then candle 134 breaks through it, candle 151 tests the back of it, and then consolidates, breaks through to grab all this liquidity that was generated on top here and on top of this movement, which is the 88, and then brings the price right back. So if price comes back into the structure, it would be telling me more about how this price didn't manage to go to the minimals of yesterday to grab that liquidity below. So this is probably why it's coming back up to grab liquidity to drop the price back down. So let's just wait. We've got 20 seconds to go. If candle 172 does break through that 50, it has to break through for me to get into that trade. If it closes above the 50, then I can't do anything. Look at that. So I can't short it right now. I'll have to wait. If it did manage to break through here, it would tell me, look, I broke through these structure to the left. So I'm gonna be continuing until the next trigger candles below. But right now it didn't do that. It just came here, tried to break through, then move back up. Now it could leave me a three candle pattern here. So candle 172 came on target. Um, if 173 doesn't continue the movement and the next one tests down, we could have a three candle pattern to the highs. But then we need to wait for this one to close here, but most likely it's just going to confirm pullback. We still 4 minutes to go on this candle, so it's not going to be that easy for it to do what I wanted it to do. Meantime, let me just organizing my other platforms here to make sure that when we have a trade, we'll be all ready to go. Right, so candle 173 has confirmed that pullback to the highs. It's going to test that resistance once again. Candle 862 does need to close above the trigger candles. Well, it didn't so far. 863 is going to test down. Let's see if it will break through those trigger candles. Eight six three is having a hard time to break through that. It is above this 50%, so it has confirmed pullback to the highs. Price should come here and at least renew the maximum high of end of candle 842. If it does come below and breaks through these trigger candles to the minimals here, it would be failing that pullback, telling us that price has to come down. We're still in a low structure, as you can see on the macro. We haven't broken the last structure yet. Okay, so we still have higher highs and higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Over here, it broke through this structure, but it didn't break through this one and didn't break through that one. So we still on a low trend on the macro. We didn't manage to renew this lower low, which tells us that this price might be coming back up here. Then it's going to try to break through that again. If it does, it might be starting to change the structure, but at the moment we can't confirm that. Candle 863 didn't break through the trigger candles. 864 did close in that maximum region there. Now Let's see if 174 test down. If it gives us a good test, we could get into that candle, but it did not test once again. Come on, test down. If it does test down, we've got about 1,300 points. We can call it 1,000 points here until the next resistance, but it's just not testing down. Come on, buddy. Let's see how that's gonna play out. Okay, cool. We got that maximum high there. We got this one here. All right, so it's testing down now. We've got about how big's our stop here. Let's check. Hey, Gabriel, how are you? You right? Thank you, mate. So let me have a look here. How many points of stop? We've got about 1,200 points of stop right now. Candle 174 did get into a bit of a resistance over there, which is this trigger candle here, candle 783, and candles to the left. So I'm just thinking here how far this pullback is. This pullback can only come as far as 50% of that movement. If it does confirm that's going high, then we could go long on this movement until about up here. So we're talking about 1,000 points. Let's see if it will confirm. All right, candle 174. We got a bit of a lateralization here on the 1 minute. Let's see how that's going to play out. Right. So 175 is testing up. So this region here, it's working as a bit of a rejection. It's working as a bit of a resistance here for this price. It has tested down. Let's see how this will behave right now. So we had candle 169 trying to break through, candle 170 trying to break through, candle 174 trying to break through. Now candle 175 did test up, but gets a very big push here from sellers. So it's just telling us, look, I don't have enough liquidity to continue on its way up yet, but it should be coming back up. On 15 minutes here, candle 59 has tested down. Let's see if this will confirm. If it can't break through the structure right now, it's going to have to come down a lot lower than before to grab liquidity. And then we can happily short this market. Let's see how that will go. On the 1 minute, it's making a pullback. Let's see if it comes back up. So at the moment, big pressure here from buyers and sellers, all in the same region. So right now, candle 873 has confirmed pullback to the highs. 874 should renew the maximum high of candle 873. Let's see if we'll be able to do that. Once again, trying to make that pullback. Okay, hasn't renewed it yet. Come on, come on, come on, come on. It's got to renew that pullback. Yeah, most likely this price will have to come down, unfortunately. It's rounding up on the 5 minutes. Let's see. We're still live on the movement. Check one thing here. All right, price coming down. It's rounding up a bit, which tells us that it doesn't have enough liquidity to continue on its way up just yet. It might have to come down to grab a bit more liquidity below. Coming back up at the moment. Okay, made another pullback here on the same region. Yet another pullback. But it's starting to round up. So what's the feeling that we get? We don't have enough liquidity to come back up. So we must look for liquidity below. So this price could come as low as this trigger candle below at the moment. If we have a look at the structure here, we'll see where is that 50%. Let's see here. And the 171 coming around that 50%. Let's see if we'll manage to break through. All right. So right now, candle 177 will have to come down. As far as the minimals of candle 173, so it has confirmed pullback to the minimals here on the 1 minute. Let's just wait for it. Should be breaking through that structure. It's just touching trigger candle here 172. So we gotta wait for it to break through. Very big push here from sellers. On 78, big pressure from buyers now. Look at that. Got liquidity here at trigger candle 172. Now 178 has got to break through the maximum high. If it doesn't, then price will have to come down a lot lower. Now, price has generated a lot of stops on this movement here on the 1 minute. So it should grab those tops and accelerate. Right now, candle 885 did grab a little bit of that liquidity and drop the price back into the structure. It will accelerate now and we'll pay that 50%. The only issue is that we could not get into this trade where it did, which leaves me out again. But that's totally fine. We'll get better options soon. Look at that. Okay. So we got candle 178 breaking through here, the highs of candle 169. Let's see if it's going to accelerate or if it's going to drop back inside of the structure. If it does close like this, it will be breaking through the top of the structure of the trigger candle 73, which was holding that price just before. And then it will have to come around to this 50%. The issue with that 50% is that we've got trigger candles here to the left. This is a resistance for this price, okay? This is the same place where it rejected this structure here and it had to come down. So it's not an easy place for the price to break through, but we do have a scalp until this region, if the price actually breaks through the highs of 169. On 1 minute here, we did have candles breaking through. Candle 886 did not break through. 884, then 887 doesn't close above it. Candle 888 is trying right now to continue the movement, but it doesn't show us a very strong force in there at the moment. Candle 60 here on the 15 minutes. It is breaking through the highs of candle 57. Price having a hard time here on the 1 minute to continue its movement, which tells me this strong movement here from buyers only had enough force until it stopped those guys. And we're getting a lot of pressure from sellers at the moment, which is not ideal. It tells me to not get into this structure right now, so it's better if I stay out of it just because of this. All right. We like to get into movements when price is breaking through and continues to break through. Once it starts making these sort of movements, candle 889 did not break through uh, the did not close above 886. See, so we had price breaking, closing above each other's here as it goes up on the 1 minute, and then it gets to this region here, and then it doesn't continue the movement anymore. So it tells me that it's not strong enough. We're getting a lot of pressure from sellers in this region. So we are already in the high part of the movement. Not only that, it is a region of resistance. For us to get into a trade right now, we would be risking quite a bit. I actually wanted to get into the trade over here, but then it didn't allow us. So that's totally fine. Right now, candle 179 is testing for support. Let's see what candle 179 will do. If it will come and test support once again. The support it should test here at the 1 minute could be this one, okay, or this one below. Either one of those, they're good support, should be tested. No, I don't want to get into this trade right now because candle 60 already went on the target of trigger candle 17. Oh, Tiago, but it can continue on its way up, right? Because we've got an uptrend coming up here. Yes, we do. We do have an uptrend, but this is a regional resistance. So we need to know which regions we want to be close to. If you say, look, I'm only looking for 400 points on this trade, great. Okay, if you're looking for 400 points, most likely this should pay you 400 points. But the problem is you're looking for 400 points of scalp, but your stop is 1800 points. So it doesn't make much sense right now to be getting into that scalp, okay? So just let it go. Better to let it go, make good trades, have a good weekend, you know. So I did the right thing. I didn't lose money on Friday, and you can get on to do other bits and pieces with the money that you didn't lose today on the market. So what we could look for is if price comes here to the 50% and rejects that 50%, okay, it would have to go grab the liquidity above candle 50 here. So it would have to do this liquidity grab here for sure. Okay. And then come back down into the structure. So it would have to reject that high there. Okay. If price does reject that high, it will have to come back and correct the price until at least this 50%, which is again 50% of the day. So if it rejects it there, we can get into a short trade into about here, which is a lot better odds. Okay, smaller stop, bigger target. Um, so that's why I'm saying there's no real need to be jumping into trades just right now. We can wait a little bit longer and make sure that we are in the right side of the market. As I said, it's better to short the market today than to be a buyer. So at the moment, we have this trend line coming up here. And below, we would have this one. Actually, I'll bring that down here, bring this up here. There we go. So let me give you guys the analysis that for today. So the analysis for today is if this price comes here, breaks through these 50% here, okay, which is the 50% from the high of yesterday and the low of today, and it's also the 50 on the macro, okay. So if I put this here, you see that that's the 50% we're talking about. This one. So we are at that 50 just pretty much now. If it does break these two 50s and closes above this high here, and it makes a pullback and confirms a pullback to the highs on this region, then you're looking at good options of buying as soon as it confirms pullback, okay? We have really good targets up, but you've got to make sure that this price um, breaks through these low first, okay? It's got to break through that low because that's a very strong resistance for the price. If it does break through, be happy to buy on this market. Now, if it does the opposite, I'll get the zigzag here. If it does the opposite, market comes up here, then goes up, comes back down into the structure, test this region for resistance, be happy to short this market until most likely here. Why? Because it has done already the liquidity grab below. So it came here and grabbed all that liquidity. Then it came down, grabbed that, and now it just generated liquidity inside of the movement. All right. So if this price comes back down, it's going to have to come lower than that, right? Because that liquidity, the liquidity up into this region was taken. Now it's just generating new ones. So it would have to come back down here, which would be a very good shorting trade here, okay? So just wait for it. It might even reject a little bit higher. It might reject this trigger candle here. It might reject up here, or it might reject below here. But do not, if it doesn't go and grab liquidity above, or if it doesn't break through these maximum highs here, then short it coming down, okay? That's the analysis for today. If it does go up, I'll grab zigzag again. If it does come up and breaks through, and then it makes a test here and comes back up, or you could be holding this trade pretty much until the top of yesterday, the maximum high of yesterday, okay? We do have the support here on the way, but just pay attention. You may be able to take a partial out, so take some of your contracts out when the price reaches there, and then you see exactly how the price will behave. And then if it confirms pullback, you can put contracts in again until it comes back up to that region. All right. Today is Friday, okay? So be careful on the market. Don't go just buying, selling anything you see. We do on Fridays, we do have lower liquidity. Okay, it's quite normal. So just pay attention to it and trade properly with a lot of patience. Don't just jump into anything. All right, might not. It's not a very good day to be jumping into just any sort of trades without the right knowledge and the right confluences. Guys, it is 10 o'clock. I do have to go. It has been awesome to be here with you guys today. If you guys could, you know, just like these videos on Trading Cage. Also comment if you find something that you want to say. Just leave your comment in there. Make sure you subscribe to our channel and also share these channels with your friends. We are here every day from 9 o'clock Brazilian time until 10 o'clock with our lives. And it has been awesome to be together with you guys once again. All right. So the market a little bit sideways didn't allow us to get into any trades in here. But It's all good. We'll be back on Monday for some more trading cage. This is where we beat the gold. Thank you very much, and I'll catch you next time. See ya.